Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Okay, we got a story time in the works, and this is a very short story time, but y'all, it's still a story time. It's still a story time. Still gonna give what it's supposed to give. It's still gonna give what it's supposed to give. If you're new to the channel, check out the rest of the content. See if you like it. If you like it, subscribe. If you don't like it, bye. Nah, I'm just kidding, but check out the content, see if you like it. Go ahead and give this video a thumbs up before the video even starts. I'm gonna give y'all 2 seconds. Hey, the wait is over. Go and like it, comment, and yeah, let's get into the video. Y'all see the title? I'm probably thinking, this girl is City Girls. Girl and JT and Carisha. I'll take your man, cause I got it like that. You see how, you see it? Yeah, you see. Let me chill. Okay, so this is the story time about the time that I took my coworker's nigga. Okay, let's get into it. So we're gonna name my coworker. What we gonna name her? We're gonna name her Cynthia. We're gonna name her Cynthia. And we're gonna name her nigga. I'm not giving that nigga a name. I don't even remember his real name. But boom, let's get into it. So this is when I used to work at Ulta. Cynthia was this Hispanic girl. She was a very sweet Hispanic girl. She got hired around the same time I got hired. I'm gonna say she probably got hired like 2 months after me, I think. And so yeah, so like she was a very sweet girl. She was very quiet, but if you spoke to her, she speaks to you back. She was one of them girls where like she just comes to work, she does her job, but like if you speak to her, like she'll speak to you forever, if you get what I mean. Like, so I remember one day, like I think I said hey to her and she was like, hey, and I was like, oh wow, she talks. Cause like I would never see her talking unless like a customer was talking to her. So I was so shocked when I seen her talking. I'm like, oh wow, like the baby talks type shit. So every time I would see Cynthia, I'll be like, hey girl, and Cynthia will be like, hey girl, and she'll talk to me. Now Cynthia was older than me. I'm gonna say she was probably like 27. I think she had like 2 kids. Yeah, I took someone's baby daddy. But listen to the story, y'all. So yeah, so we were talking and she would talk to me about her baby daddy. Now she said that her baby daddy was in jail and her baby daddy was a black guy. She used to tell me like, yeah, he's in jail. And I forgot why she told me he was in jail, but she said he had been in jail for years. And she used to be like, I can't wait for the kids' fathers to come out. No, he hadn't been in jail for years, but he been in jail, like in and out of jail for years, if you get what I mean. So she'll be like, I can't wait for the kids' fathers to come out of jail. And I used to be like, yeah, girl, like, I'm so sorry that like, you know, he's in jail. Like, I'm so sorry about it. So she will always talk about her mans. Like, she always talked about her mans, which I didn't mind. Like, I don't know. I didn't mind. But like, she wasn't like obsessed with her man. But like, you know, when you have like kids with a guy, like, you know what I mean? So she'll be like, yeah, the kid's father and stuff like that. One day she came up to me and she was like, girl. And I was like, girl, what? She was like, I'm leaving. So I was like, what do you mean you're leaving? She said, I'm quitting. She said, I got a better job at a call center. And she's like, I'm dipping out. Like, I can't take this no more. Everybody hated Ulta. So and a lot of people didn't last. I worked at Ulta for damn near 3 years. I don't even know how I worked there for that long. I guess it just became so convenient. You know, like you know, I don't know if you ever heard the saying, like, you rather deal with the shit that you know than the shit that you don't know, if you get what I mean. I'm not gonna lie, I did pick up other jobs while I worked at Ulta, but my main job was always Ulta around that time. So she said she dipping out. She was like, she dipping out. She said she can't take it no more. And she said she's going to go work at a call center and they pay way more money. So I'm telling her, I'm like, girl, I don't blame you, girl. I don't blame you. I told her straight up, I'm like, girl, I feel so weird without my nails, but I'm like, I told her, girl, I said, bye. Cause I don't blame you. Ulta was on some pure bullshit. I didn't blame her at all. So she left. A year later, I see her walking in the store. And I'm like, hey, Cynthia. She's like, hey, girl, you still working here? I'm like, Yeah. You know how people be like, girl, you still working here? You're like, yeah. So she's like, oh yeah, like, and I was like, girl, you in here to shop or something? She's like, no, girl, I'm not in here to shop. I don't even live around here. I would never come here to shop. I said, then why are you here? She told me, so I'm coming back to get the job again. I'm like, okay. So I'm like, what happened to the call center? She told me that, I forgot what she told me, but she just said it wasn't it. She said that's not it. So she said that she's gonna come back and she's gonna start working at Ulta again. I'm like, girl, come on, like shit. So, and that's what I'm saying. Even though Ulta was a toxic job, it was convenient. So she does the interview process and she gets hired again, and she starts talking about her kids, and then she tells me good news that her baby daddy is out of jail. So bitch, I'm finally, bitch, finally. She's like, yeah. And she tells me we're starting a YouTube channel. You should subscribe. So bitch, I'm like, hey, like, you know, I'm subscribing to the channel or whatnot. I'm like, ooh, yeah, like whatever. And I told her, I'm like, girl, you should subscribe to my channel. She subscribes to my channel. This is back then when I was not that serious on YouTube. But yeah, she subscribed to my channel. I subscribed to her channel. I'm watching a little bit of their videos. Yeah, I don't know. I wasn't really paying attention to her nigga. I didn't really see her nigga like that. I just really seen her and her kids. Her kids were adorable. So like when I watched her YouTube channel, I was just like, oh my God, her kids are so fucking cute. So I really did not like pay attention to her baby daddy like that. Now, fast forward to one day, there was this car wash that opened near my house. Well, it wasn't too close to my house, but there was this car wash that opened that was like 10 minutes away from my house. And at that time, that was like the closest car wash. There's one now that's like 2 minutes, but like back then it was only, that was the one that was the closest. So I decided to go get a membership there because it was a point in time I used to like washing my car a lot. I don't really care for, I'm okay. I'm the type of person where like, if I don't like something, I don't take care of it, which is so bad. And I don't have an issue with my car, but I don't like it. Like I want a new car. So like my car, if you guys see my car, you're gonna be like, ew, like you're dirty. You're dirty. But like, I promise y'all, when I get my new car, that bitch gonna be, that's so besides the point. But yeah, that's just the type of person I am. But before, I always used to like to go get my car washed. Like I always used to get my car washed. So I decided to buy a membership at this car wash. So I decided one day to go pull up to the car wash to wash my car because my car was getting a little dirty. Pulls up to the car wash and it's this guy. And he is standing at the thing and he tells me, hey, it looks like you have a membership, like this isn't that. He's doing small talk with me. Now this guy he looked like he's 6'2", 6'3" ish. He very dark. He dark skinned. He looked like he in his late 20s, probably pushing 30. At this time I was like 22 or 21. I was one of them ages. And he's like, yeah, it looks like you already have a membership. This is and that. And I was like, yeah, I already have a membership. And he's like, I'm sorry to say this, but you are so beautiful. I'm like, oh, thank you. This isn't that. Now, guys, he was my type, but he wasn't. He was dark skinned. He had white teeth, but like his face was just, I'm gonna say like on a scale of a 1 to 10, his face was like a 6. Like he just was not, his face wasn't hitting compared to what I usually talk to, but like he wasn't ugly at the same time, if you get what I mean. So he was like, you are very beautiful. And I was like, oh, thank you. And he was like, can I please have your number? And I told him, I was like, what did I tell him? I think I gave him my number, which is so funny because I usually do not give guys my number unless like I really, really think they're cute. I usually be like, nah, you can have my Insta or you can have this. And no, I think I did tell him like, oh, you can have my Instagram. And he's like, oh no, like, no, please, can I just have your number? He started like making jokes. He was funny. That was like the main thing that I remember. He was like, you know, he said, y'all be over here giving people y'all Instagram because when y'all don't want to talk to a nigga. And he was like, and when y'all want to talk to a nigga, y'all be quick to get that number up. So I thought that was funny. I'm like, this nigga funny, like he peep gang. So I gave him my number. He's like, all right, have a good car wash. So I go to wash my car and then I park my car to vacuum it. I get out of my car and I'm vacuuming it. Guys, the whole time that I am vacuuming my car, he's literally doing this. So I'm vacuuming. I'm like, ugh, this is so awkward. Like, I want to go home type shit. Like, I don't really like when people stare at me like that. So I'm like, oh my God, this is so fucking awkward. Like, I want to go home. I want to go home. This is so awkward. So I'm vacuuming. So he literally scared the fuck out of me, y'all. Like, he came up behind me and he was like, here we go. I almost said, hey, bro, chill. Like, you don't need to be coming up behind me like that. Like, I literally got scared type shit. Because, like, imagine you, like, bend over, like, vacuuming the floor seats. And somebody comes up behind. Someone's like, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Don't do that no more. Like, don't do it. Sorry. So, I'm like, oh! Like, I literally screamed. And he started laughing. He said, girl, I scared you. I'm like, no, you didn't scare me. And he's like, here we go. He gave me like a whole bunch of free shit. Nigga gave me a whole bunch of fucking free like fucking air fresheners. He even gave me like a window cleaner, like a Windex window. He gave me a whole bunch of free stuff, to say the least. And I'm like, hey, like, and I was like, no, I didn't think that he was giving it to me for free, because his boss was there. Like, his boss was watching us. And so his boss was like calling his name, telling him, hey, like, you need to like stop talking to her and come back over here. And I was like, oh no, thank you, I don't want to pay for that. And he was like, who's saying that you paying for it? I'm like, oh, daddy, watch me twirl. Daddy, walk from the back, from the back, from the back, from the back, from the back. Nah, let me chill. Yeah, I'm like, okay, shit. Like, okay, like, okay, you're giving this to me for free. Okay, thank you. So I take it. It was like a whole bunch of free shit. He gave me a whole bunch of towels, cleaning stuff for the inside of the car, cleaning stuff for the window, and a whole bunch of air fresheners. I took it all. I fucking took it all. So he's like, make sure you text me, girl, for real. No. He said, I'm gonna text you. Make sure you text me back, for real, for real. I said, I got you. So he texts my phone. He's like, hey, this is such and such. So I'm like, oh, hey, what's up? So we start having a conversation. So I'm talking to him and I'm asking him, like, do you have kids and stuff? He told my son, I think I have 2. Think? Nigga, it's either you have kids or you don't. It's no think. So I told him, I'm like, you think you have 2? He's like, oh no, I have 2. I'm like, okay. So he calls me. I didn't pick up because I'm like, I just hate when I give people my number and they call me the first day. He calls me. I didn't pick up. He calls me again. I didn't pick up. I'm like, bro, what this nigga keep calling me for? He's like, bro, pick up, please. I got to tell you something for real. So I get on the phone with him. Like I said before, this nigga is funny as fuck. So me and him were on the phone. We're vibing. Like, it felt like I knew him. So we're on the phone. We're talking. And he's just telling me everything that he wants to be in life. And he tells me that he wants to be a rap artist. So I'm like, y'all, I said, oh, are you dead ass? He was like, yeah. And I was like, oh shit. I was like, send me a couple of your songs. Let me see. Because he said that he has some songs out already. So I'm like, send me a couple of your songs. Let me see how you flow on the beat type shit. He's like, bet. Like, he's like, you're not ready. You're not ready. You're not ready. You're right. I'm not ready. The shit was pure. The shit was ass. Like, I was just like, mind you, he said, call me back when you listen to the first one. Bitch, I didn't call him back because according to me, bitch, I didn't listen to the first one. Bitch, I don't know what I listened to. Bitch, that ain't even the last one. So I said, hell nah, bro. Just stick to car washing or whatever the fuck you doing. Shit, I don't know. So he calls me back 10 minutes later and I'm like, fuck. So I try not to answer the phone and he calls me back again. I'm like, damn. So I answered. I'm like, hello. He's like, you listened to it? It was only 3 minutes long. You listened to it? I was like, oh yeah, I did. But I had to do something afterwards. He's like, another thing is I'm a freestyler. I'm like, oh, you a freestyler? He's like, yeah. Hold on. Yeah. Hold on. Yeah. And mind you, every time he keeps saying, yeah, bitch, I'm jumping on the phone. I'm like this. I'm here. Yeah. Hold on. Yeah. Hold on. No. Stop. You're scaring me. Stop. At this point, I'm like, hell nah, bro. So he starts rapping. He's like, yeah, my name is such and such and I come from the such and side. He started talking about he come from, I think he was either from Harlem, Clark. He was from the north side. I don't know. I don't remember where he was from. But he was not from my side of Houston. He started repping his hood. And mind you, the side that he was from the ghetto side of Houston. I just don't remember. I don't know whether it was Harlem, Clark, or Third Ward. I don't remember. But he's like, yeah, I come from such and such. I come from selling dope to do. And he freestyling. Then he said, and I just got out of jail for such and such and such. Now, I don't really remember what he went to jail for. But when he made that rap, y'all, like when he said it, it's like it instantly clicked in my head. Like what he went to jail for was something so like specific that like, cause you know my coworker told me why her baby daddy went to jail. And it wasn't just something like, oh, he stole candy from the store. Like it was something so specific. I don't remember because this was a long time ago. This was like in 2018, I think, or 17. But yeah, like what he went to jail for was like something so specific that like as soon as he said it, I'm like, so I was like, hold on. Like, imagine yeah. I'm like, hold on. He's like, yeah, what's up? I'm like, that is a good rap. I'm lying. I'm like, hey, I'm lying. I'm like, that is a good rap. But what did you go to jail for? He's like, oh, I don't want to talk about that. I'm like, oh. I said, oh, you don't want to talk about that? He's like, oh, I don't want to talk about that. I was like, oh. So why'd you say it in your rap? He said, oh, you told me to freestyle. I said, oh. Did you just get out of jail? He said, yeah. I said, oh, okay. He said, you know what? Let me call you back. I said, okay. He hangs up. I'm like, what? So I'm like, bro, what did I get myself into? So the next day, I go to my job and I tell my friend, if you guys don't know the story time that I just dropped, the friend that I go to the same school with, I tell her about this guy. And my friend tells me that he tried to get her mom's number too. I'm like, oh my God. My friend's like, girl, I know who you're talking about. He's such and such. Like we're describing him and we're like, oh my God. And she said that he tried to get her number too. I'm like, oh no. Like he likes everybody. Like he likes everybody. He is like Young Money. He wants to F every girl in the world type shit. Like he likes everybody. I cannot be with a nigga that wants every girl's number. Like I hate that shit. So at this point, I'm like, I was going to cut you off, but now I'm really going to cut you off. Like you're doing too much. So he starts texting my phone. This is the thing, guys. I didn't like him like that, but he was so funny. Like he was just so funny. Like the nigga was funny. I can't even cap. Like he was just something to laugh at. So he starts texting my phone. And stuff. And he's like, man, can you please send me pictures of you? He says it's been, mind you, at this time it's like a week now. He's not really texting my phone every day, but he's keeping up with me. So he's like, man, you need to send me pictures of you. It's been a week since you came to the car wash. I'm forgetting how you look like. I said, I'm not sending you no pictures. Here's my Instagram. Go follow me. He told me some, man, I don't like Instagram. In my head, I'm like, okay, well, that don't have nothing to do with me. I was like, do you have an Instagram? He was like, yeah, I do, but I just don't like Instagram. And I'm like, why don't you like Instagram? He's like, I just don't like it. I'm like, but you have one? He's like, I have one, but I don't get on it like that. I was like, okay, well, follow my Snap. He's like, oh, okay, bet. So he asked me on Snapchat. I post on Snap all the time. So he's looking at me. He's sliding up on everything. He's putting hard eyes. I'm saying thank you. He's putting hard eyes. I'm saying thank you. At this point in time, I'm like, it's time to stop faking it. And at this time, I didn't know if that was Cynthia's baby daddy, but just the fact of why he went to jail just made me like start like, you know, like thinking stuff in my head. So I'm like, nah, I need to crack down and I need to see if this is her baby daddy. So I have him on Snap and he calls me one day. He's going to the studio. Why? I don't know. I hope it was to support a friend and I hope it wasn't for himself. So he calls me and he's like, hey, what's up? And I'm like, hey. And he's like, I said, I got a question for you. He's like, what's up? I said, you have kids? He was like, I already told you that. And I was like, oh. I was like, okay. So he's like, yeah. So we keep on talking. He asked me, he says, I'm like, how am I going to get around this? How can I connect this story together? What can I say? Who's your baby mama? You know, and I just started talking to him. A lot of niggas, they don't like revealing who their baby mama is, especially when they just started talking to you. So I'm like, bro, how am I going to get around asking this nigga who his BM is? I don't know. As soon as I said it in my head, it's like the Lord was like, don't worry, I got you. He asked me, where do you work? He said, I ain't never asked you where you work, but where do you work? I said, oh, I work at Ulta. I hear silence. I'm like, hello? He's like, yeah. Which location? No. no. He didn't even say which location. Nigga said the makeup store. And that was like, I don't know. That to me just was like a red flag. Because most niggas don't know what Ulta is. Some niggas, they know what Sephora is. But a lot of times when I used to tell niggas that I work at Ulta, they'll be like, what's that? You know? And I love when a nigga say, what's that? Because that lets me know that his bitch ass, well, was not shopping for no hoe. So he's like, the makeup store? I'm like, yeah. And I was like, I'm surprised you know. And then he said, which location? I'm like, why? He's like, just tell me the location. And I'm like, the one in Memorial in Town and Country. He says, God damn. I said, what is goddamn? He's like, God damn it, goddamn. I'm like, such and such. What's goddamn? He's like, nothing. I gotta go. I said, you gotta go? He said, I gotta go. I said, you gotta go? He said, I gotta go. I said, oh. Dear. Bam, he hangs up on me. So at this point, I'm like, nah. This cannot be my coworker's baby daddy. This cannot be Cynthia's baby daddy. This cannot be the nigga that my coworker's been telling me about. This cannot. So now I start doing my research. Now, let me tell y'all, when I do my research, I'ma find you. It's probably only been like one time where I've been looking for a nigga and like I could not find him nowhere no more. But when I do my research, let me tell you something, I'm gonna find that ass. So I start looking everywhere. I start searching up his name on Facebook. I start searching up his name on Instagram. I'm searching for like damn near an hour and I finally find his Instagram. Y'all, he talking about he don't like Instagram, but this nigga is posting every other week. Posting his kids. And mind you, remember I told y'all I know how his kids look like. Posted him and Cynthia's YouTube channel. Talking about subscribe to my baby I love. Mind you, when he told me that he had kids, he said he was not with the baby mama. He said they are just co-parenting. He was over here posting his fucking baby mama, which was Cynthia. Talking about subscribe to our YouTube channel. Posting her, pictures with him and her. As soon as he got out of jail. Posting. So at this point, I ran to work and I told my coworker, not Cynthia, my friend. And my friend was like, so we just having a key moment, right? And so I told her, I'm like, should I confront him or not? Should I just block him? She's like, nah, you need to confront him. You really need to confront him. So I called him and I said, so when was you going to tell me that I worked with your baby mama? He told my son, that's why I said I'm going to call you back because I didn't know what to do. Tell me, oh, you work with my BM. Tell me that you're still fucking your BM. Tell me something. Like, and then on top of that, I don't think this nigga knew how close me and his BM was. Now, I'm not saying me and this girl was friends, but like we were, like she used to talk to me about him. So like, I know about you before you knew about me type shit. So I'm like, oh, so you lied. He's like, I didn't lie. I didn't know you worked at Ulta. I would have been told you. I said, but you still lied though, because you said that you're not with your BM, but you are with your BM. He starts talking about something, man, this is and that. He dogs her. He basically talking about he just needs a place to stay because he just got out of jail and he needs a place to stay. Mind you, he starts becoming the most victimless. You know when niggas get caught, they turn themselves into victims. He talking about I was a crack baby. Mind you, I'm like this on the phone like, he's like, I was a crack baby. I was doomed from the start. Yo, bro, I could not breathe, bro. Like, I started laughing and I had to put myself on mute. He's like, I was doomed for the start. I was doomed from the start, man. I ain't never had nothing. I met her. She took care of me. And that's all I use her for. I'm like, wow. This girl is up here telling me how much she's so in love with you. And you are here talking about that you only are with her because you don't have anything and you do not love her. What makes you think that makes me feel good? I don't care. Like, this is my coworker and this is somebody that I actually really like, you know? And I never even really liked him to begin with. So I just told him straight up. I said, look, we can remain cordial. We can remain friends. But I think it's best that me and you stop talking. He says, okay, that's cool. He hangs up. Y'all, did he listen? No. Couple of days go by. He texted me. Good morning, beautiful. I had to call him. I said, please do not call me beautiful. And please do not be texting me like that. He said, okay, cool. I got you. I hung up. He still texted me. Now, he ain't saying good morning, beautiful, but he told my son, what you doing today? I'm like, I'm going to work. He's like, at 3 p.m.? I'm like, no. fuck do you know I'm going to work at 3 p.m.? I'm like, how do you know that? I'm looking at I guess after I found out that, I guess after he knew that I knew that his baby mama was Cynthia, he didn't care no more. He told my son, I'm looking at my baby mama's schedule. You go in at 3. Your name is Irene. And he says my last name. I'm like, hell nah. He's like, you go in at 3. You at the top of the list. He says she go in at 4. I'm like, yeah. He's like, I'm like, okay. He calls my phone. I don't answer. He texts me. I don't answer. Now at this time it's 3 o'clock. He texts me at 3:40 something. He says, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm at work. You should know that, right? You're looking at the schedule. You should know that I'm at work. He's like, please don't tell on me. I'm like, what are you talking about? He said, please don't tell my baby mama on me. I said, I'm not. He's like, please, she coming at 4, please. Y'all, I blocked his number. I blocked him. Mind you, I only blocked his number I blocked his number, but I didn't block his snap. He starts trying to snap call me. He is in the chat saying, please. He's saying, please don't tell. Bitch, I'm about to tell her. Like, you pissing me off now. Now I'm finna tell her. I was not gonna tell her, but now I'm about to tell her. I'm about to tell her, because you're doing too fucking much for my liking. You're doing too fucking much. I deleted his ass on Snap too, and I blocked his ass on Instagram, because once he found out that I knew that, you know, he was messing with Cynthia, his ass went and followed me on Instagram and shit. I blocked his ass on Instagram too. The fuck? Like, you're not gonna be playing with me. And that's pretty much it. He started calling my ass on no caller ID. Calling me. Mind you, he knows I'm at work. He's calling my phone number on no caller ID. I'm telling my coworker, because she inside the store. And I'm like, bro, look at Cynthia's baby daddy. Like, look at him. So she's like, girl, she's like, I don't know what to tell. And mind you, Cynthia always talk positive about him. And I'm like, this can't be the same nigga that she's talking about. Like, this just can't be the same nigga that she's been telling us about for this long. So fast forward to 4 o'clock. Cynthia come in late. She didn't even come in at 4. She came in like 30 minutes later. She's like, hey guys, and imagine knowing news and like you just can't, and imagine knowing something about someone, but they don't know that you know. And I'm in no way was I'm not gonna tell them. I know some people might be like, man, you should have told her. 9 times out of 10, those girls go back to those guys. They always go back to those guys. I'm not gonna be the one to break up no relationship. She has 2 kids by this man. She'll figure herself out. Like, that's just how I see it. So she comes to the front. Mind you, me and my friend, we talking about the situation. And as soon as she came to the front, we just got silent. We're like, yeah, girl, like, he is so crazy. Da, da, da. She comes to the front. She's like, what y'all talking about? We like, oh, nothing. We talking about one of her niggas. She's like, oh. And she was like, what did he do? And I was like, you know, girl, the usual, what guys be doing. She was like, I know. She said, my nigga, he irritates the fuck out of me. In my head, I'm like, bitch, I know he do. He does more than irritate you. He cheats on you. So in my head, I'm like, mind you, me and my friend, like, we try hard not laugh, but like, we trying to just hold a regular composure. She's like, yeah, my nigga, he irritates me too. And I'm like, yeah, girl. I said, guys, they're just, she didn't say nigga. She said my baby daddy. I was like, yeah, you know, guys. I said, guys are just so bad. She says, yeah. So then she starts walking over to the cologne area and she's telling my son, but does this smell good, Irene? And I smell it. I'm like, yes, it smells good. Like, this smells so fucking good. And she's like, yeah, because he just got out of jail and I'm looking for a fragrance for him. Ever since he got out, she's like, it's only been 2 weeks, but he's been doing so well. He's been taking care of me and the kids. He's been working a lot. Like, I'm actually very, like, happy. In my head, I'm like, and this is what I said in my head. Well, bitch, if you happy, so am I. I ain't tell that girl nothing. I ain't tell her nothing. That's the ending of the story time. I blocked his ass everywhere. I stopped going to that car wash specifically because of him. Like, I canceled my membership. Well, I didn't like call them and cancel it, but like I switched bank cards, and you know, like they didn't have access to my new one, and I never renewed it. I stopped completely going to that car wash. And then thank the Lord, they built a car wash right in front of my house like a year later. But I stopped going to that car wash because I went to go get my car. I went to go get my car washed like a couple of months later, and this nigga was knocking at my window. I'm like, bro, what you knocking at my window for? He's Irene, open the window. I just want to talk. Y'all, I literally just ignored him. I literally put my car in neutral and I let that bitch push through the water. There's nothing for me and you to talk about, sir. There's nothing for me and you to talk about. So yeah, it got to the point where I couldn't even fucking vacuum my car at the car wash. I would have to go like get my car washed, and then I would have to go to like a car wash that was like 4 minutes down and vacuum it, because I knew that if I got out of my car, he was gonna come and start harassing me. He wanted to talk about some let's talk. Why'd you block me? Why'd you block me? He knocking at my window and shit. I'm looking at him like, can you move? Like, can you fucking move so I can wash my car type shit? But yeah, after that, it got to the point where he did it twice. He did it 2 times. I went to the car wash one time. He knocked at my window. I ignored him. I went to the car wash the second time. He knocked at my window again, because I used to go there all the time. I had a membership, bitch. I was gonna use up that was $20 a month, bitch. I wanted to get my $20 worth, bitch. Even if it drizzled outside, I went to the car wash. But after dealing with his ass, I stopped going to the car wash, because he started doing too much. He started doing too much for my liking. I started going to a different car wash, and that's the third time. She's probably still with him to this day, and I know she subscribed to my channel. I hope she does not watch my videos no more, but girl, if you watch my videos, yeah, and if you're watching my videos and you're thinking, is it, yeah, girl, because I know she subscribed to my channel like way back in the days. I just hope she don't watch me no more. It was your baby daddy. Your kids are very cute, though. I hope you left his ass. He ain't shit. That's the story time, guys. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.